Hi everyone, welcome to another video by SG Company Services. We have recently received some questions on foreigners looking to study in Singapore. So in this video, I will share some related information, hoping to answer some of your doubts. In general, a foreigner who wishes to study in Singapore will need to apply for a student pass. Before the application of the student pass, the foreigner must first confirm enrollment into an approved full-time course in Singapore. Night classes, weekend and part-time courses are not allowed. If the student wishes to transfer school after the student pass application is approved, a new application will be required. For those aged 12 years or below, they will be required to submit their vaccination information to Singapore Health Promotion Board. Some documents to be prepared for application includes the registration acknowledgement letter from the school, travel document biodata page, personal information including past countries of residence, education background, employment history, and financial support. Next of kin's personal information, residential address and contact details in Singapore, email address, a recent passport size digital color photograph not more than 3 months old. The types of education institution foreigners may enroll into includes approved private education institutions, foreign system schools, government-aided independent schools, institutions of technical education, kindergartens and childcare centers, institutes of higher learning. The requirements and procedures differ for each different education institution applied for. For approved private education institutions, foreigners may only enroll in private education institutions that are EduTrust certified. Such education institutions must offer course fee protection paid by students. Once approved, the in-principle approval or IPA letter will state if the foreign student will be required to pay a security deposit. This deposit must be paid using banker's guarantee. For students from Bangladesh, Myanmar, People's Republic of China and India, it is 5,000 Sing dollars per student. For students from Indonesia, Philippines and Thailand, it is 1,000 Sing dollars per student. For students from other countries, it is 1,500 Sing dollars per student. The foreign student may be exempted from paying a security deposit if he or she is a Malaysia or Brunei citizen, a holder of valid dependence pass, long-term visit pass or work pass, a child or spouse of a Singapore citizen of permanent resident, attending a full-time course at an EduTrust accredited PEO or private education organization, doing a full-time graduate or postgraduate university program with the exception of the University of London tuition programs under the age of 16 years old at the point of application for the student pass. The security deposit paid is fully refundable upon departure from Singapore, provided none of the conditions stated in the security bond are breached. The refund will take about 6 weeks to process from the time of cancellation or expiry of the student's pass. The foreign students do not need to be in Singapore for the application. The application can be submitted online at least 2 months and not more than 3 months before the commencement of the course. Do note that citizens of the People's Republic of China above 19 years old who wish to attend a language, commercial, vocational or fine arts non-graduate or postgraduate degree course may be required to attend an interview at the Singapore Embassy in Beijing. The typical processing time is about 4 weeks. For foreign system schools, foreigners must only enroll into a foreign system school that is EduTrust certified. The foreign student is not required to be in Singapore for the application. The application should be submitted online at least 4 weeks before course commencement. The typical processing time is 5 working days. As for government-aided and independent schools, the foreign student is again not required to be in Singapore for the application. The application should be submitted online at least 4 weeks before course commencement. The foreign student need to have a local sponsor if applying to study in a government-aided or independent school. The local sponsor must be an individual who is a Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident, who is age 21 and above. The typical processing time is also 5 working days. For the institutes of technical education, the foreign student is not required to be in Singapore for the application. The application should be submitted online at least 4 weeks before course commencement. The foreign student needs to have a local sponsor who is a Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident who is age 21 and above. If the student has a Singapore citizen or permanent resident parent or step-parent, he or she must act as the local sponsor. The typical processing time is 5 working days. For kindergartens and childcare centers, the foreign child applying to enroll into a kindergarten or a childcare center must ensure the school is licensed by the Early Childhood Development Agency or ECDA. Application is to be done online at least 2 months and not more than 3 months before the course starts. The typical processing time is 2 weeks. For institutes of higher learning, once offered a place as a full-time student, the foreigner will need to apply for a student's pass. The following are a list of the institutes of higher learning eligible. Local universities, which includes National University of Singapore, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore Management University, Singapore Institute of Technology, Singapore University of Social Sciences, Singapore University of Technology and Design. Local polytechnics, which includes Nanyang Polytechnic, Ngee Polytechnic, Republic Polytechnic, Singapore Polytechnic, and Temasek Polytechnic. Offshore institutes with local campuses, which includes École Supérieure des Sciences Économiques et Commerciales, INSEAD, SP Jain School of Global Management, DigiPen Institute of Technology, German Institute of Science and Technology, and lastly, Sorbonne Assas International Law School. Applicants are not required to be in Singapore. The submission can be done online at least 1 month and not more than 2 months before the course starts. The typical processing time is 5 to 10 working days. Are there any exemptions? Yes, the foreigner may be exempted from having to apply for a student's pass if he or she has an immigration exemption order or been granted a short-term visit pass at a Singapore checkpoint and wishes to attend a short course or holds a dependent's pass. If you find the information useful for you when it comes to applying for your student's pass, consider subscribing to us for more future videos. If you have further questions on applying for your student's pass, or you would like us to cover any other topics relating to living in Singapore, feel free to comment below and I will see you in the next video.